Little, and just know you'll learn a lot about me because I believe that the best lessons I can give are stuff that I did, experiences that I've had. I taught for about a year and a half. I taught high school and middle school, and a lot of their stuff was online. So they're middle school kids, right? High school kids. They don't really understand plagiarism. So what they would do is, because a lot of their stuff was they had to go through a tablet, they would go into their course room and read the question, and then they would go Google the answer, and then they would just copy right there off of Google that first whatever little part, and then they would paste it in there. And so I would read. And I'll be like, okay, I mean, it is the right answer, but you don't write like that. You do not write like that. As an instructor, I try to pay attention to a lot, like different parts of you. And one of the things that I pay attention to the most is how you speak. And I'll pay attention to how you write. So I know words that you misspell. I know how your punctuation looks. I know how all that stuff looks. So if one day you come off and you all of a sudden been touched by God and everything is perfect, then I'm asking questions. I'm just going to let you know. It's better to stay consistent in your stuff and let's work on getting better than all of a sudden one day you out here writing like Maya Angelou or something. All right? That's number one. Number two, let's talk about this thing because it's going to come up later in y'all classes. Y'all heard of Chat GPT, right? Chat GPT. You ain't never heard of it? Good. Don't even download it on your phone. That AI, chatbot, that writing papers, that's going to mess y'all up. Just because of what I just said. When you get to English and you have to write papers, your instructor is going to get a writing sample from you that GPT can't do because it's going to be based upon you. They'll see how you write. They'll see how you write in your paper. They'll see how you punctuate your stuff. So if you come with Chat GPT on a paper on something that you've had to read on a literary work and it's perfect, questions are going to be raised. And you have to understand too that there's a very high possibility that somebody else uses that for the same thing. You might come out with the exact same paper. So you might want to be careful. Use your own creativity. Do not defer to AI. Don't. Trust me, that's a life hack. Use your own creativity. Use what God gave you. Don't defer to AI. So let me give you an example, a real life example of this plagiarism thing. About 2017, 2018, I received a call from a professor here. He said, Mr. Vickers, one of your students, this is when I was academic advisor. They said, Mr. Vickers, one of your students plagiarized. I've sent you the papers, both the original paper and the paper that their student's paper and the paper that they plagiarized off of. I said, okay. So I read the paper, both of them. And I was like, yeah, you plagiarized good on this, real good. All this person did was change a couple of phrases here and there. It was still in the same formatted, in the same structure, the whole nine. So I sat the student down. I said, so you know you're being accused of plagiarism, right? She's like, Mr. Vickers, I ain't plagiarized. I promise you. I promise you I ain't plagiarized. I said, if you ain't plagiarized, this is uncanny right here because y'all about came out with the same thing. No, Mr. Vickers. Now, this student held on to that they did not plagiarize. So I said, this is what you need to do. And the bad thing about it is that this person was a graduating senior. So their graduation was on the line. I said, what you need to do, you need to go back over to that professor's office. You need to sit down. You need to look them in their eyes and you need to apologize to them. And you need to accept responsibility for your actions. And if you get a 0, you get a 0. So she gave me her whole sob story. No, it was mine. No, it wasn't. And we can tell. I have written enough papers. I have read enough papers. And if you plagiarize, we can see the flip. If you decide to invert a story, change words, keep the same format. All right? So do not defer. Don't be afraid to work. Don't be afraid to work. Some of the work will be difficult. Some of the work will be rigorous. It's going to make you a better person. It's going to expand you. Don't fear the work. Get it done. And don't defer to technology. Use your own creativity. You never know. You might have a gift that God brings up. Attendance and participation. While a minimum weekly login to include the submission of an activity or assignment is required, we strongly encourage a daily login to include completing an activity or assignment. Full details of this policy are provided in the student attendance and participation agreements in your Canvas course. In each of your online courses, you are required to acknowledge both agreements. Okay? So what needs to happen is that your Canvas, you need to check it every day, is what it's saying. Why? Because this is going to be one of the main areas and main places, especially your freshman year, your first 2 years, really, and for some of you to be all 4, how teachers will contact you. So you want to make sure that you're checking your email, you're checking your Canvas every day. Every day. All right? It is going to be your lifeline. It's going to be your lifeblood. Because when that instructor hits you with, oh, I sent that to you a week ago, then that junk is on you. Check every day. And during the day, I would even tell you to check every couple of hours just to make sure ain't nothing new coming in from any instructor. All right? I'm giving y'all life hacks. Trust me. Everything else, your Wildcat email, your drop withdrawal, and issuance of incomplete. Well, no one's going to drop this class. No one's going to withdraw this class. And all y'all should get A's. This ain't a hard class to pass. So I'm not even going to worry about that. But still read it. Everything is worth reading. All right? You're looking at the module from I think this is my point. Nope, this is y'all's. Still y'all point of view. Okay. Every week before every class, this will get larger and larger. I have unpublished a lot of the work because y'all don't need to try to work forward. You get lazy when you work forward sometimes because you're like, oh, I'm already done with it. I have to come to class. No, you got to come to class. You got to participate. Attendance and participation are a part of the class. In order to get full points, you attend, you participate. Y'all got me? We good? All right. I know this is just kind of the meat and potatoes, but we have to go through it. All right? Just so you can see your first objective. All right, so your first objective. Welcome to the first week of Freshman Seminar 1. This week we'll go over the syllabus, done, and expectations of the course. You will also review the presentations, setting academic goals. Okay, we'll do the academic goals when you come back at 11. All right, because the PowerPoint presentation is pretty in-depth, but we'll go through that later. This presentation is a part of your new student orientation and contains valuable information to make sure you are on the right track. So we've already been through the syllabus. We've been through some of it. The rest is up to you. Now, it had a great word in there. It said expectations. Let's talk about what Mr. Vickers' expectations are. very quickly. College is a very interesting place, and I need y'all to hear this, right?